Okay, I hope you guys can hear over my fan. I have a fan on. It's a little warm today, but I'll try and get that noise out of there. But I wanted to let you know that your company has a little problem, and here it is. It's the electrical shops or other contractor shops down the street, because those people are all bidding on the same work. And so, you know, your company, when they turn in a competitive bid on a project, they can't throw in a high number and just attach a letter to it that says, "Dear general contractor, we know that our price is a little high, but it just costs us more money to get our work done. So we know the number's high, but if you'll give us a chance, we promise we'll do a real good job for you." That general contractor doesn't care what your company's problems are. That general contractor is most likely going to accept the lowest bid or one of the lowest bids, depending on how much confidence they have in the subcontractor. Okay? So what I'm telling you is that there is this much time in a task, in a competitive bid. Your company has to be there. They have to be there. They're not going to get any work. Okay? Now, we all know that work expands to fit the time allotted for it, right? Pareto's Law. So let's talk about how that time might get expanded like that. So if this is the task, okay, and the foreman in the morning, he gets all his people together and he says, "Hey Joe, I want you to go run that conduit over there and come see me when you're done." Okay, he didn't give Joe any time limit, so it's going to take Joe as long as it takes. All right, Joe doesn't know what his time limit is. He's just going to go work till it's done. He's probably going to go up there and scope things out, take his drawings with him, maybe make a material list, and head off to the Connex. When he gets down to the Connex, he'll gather up all the material he can, but probably might find out that maybe all the material isn't there. So then he's got to go back to the foreman and say, "Hey, I'm missing these important parts to make this thing happen." So the foreman will grab one of the lower guys and put him in a truck and send him off to a hurry-up run to the wholesale house, right? Joe takes all of his material upstairs to go to work, needs a scissor lift, but there's only 2 on site, and they're both being used. And one of them's not going to be available for another 30 minutes. So Joe's going to have to wait for that machine. Goes back to his work area, figures out that he needs to do some cutting, but he can't find any Sawzall blades. Work's still expanding. Okay? Pretty soon, material comes back, but now Joe's ready for a break, so he's going to head down to the Porta-John and smoke a cigarette. On the way back, he might run into the plumber, his favorite plumber, have a nice long conversation, and pretty soon, his task is out to here now. And if your company is tracking labor by cost codes on your timesheet, what cost code did you work under today? Okay, this is inflating their cost code numbers. Okay, they're going to use that data and they're going to take a look at it the next time they bid a job and say, "Man, we got to put some more time in there for that work because we didn't hit our mark on that last 2 projects." Okay? This is how work gets expanded to fit the time allotted for it. Okay? So that's why you always have to put a time limit on a task. You have to vet your materials and make sure they're there and ready for that person before they start that project. If you're smart and you're on a large enough project, you'll have a material handler who will deliver that material right to that work area before that worker gets there. You don't want him to leave that area. He needs to be there working. Make sure you have enough equipment. Make sure you have enough tools, enough Sawzall blades, portaband blades, screws, hardware. You see what I'm getting at? Now here's the good news. If your company is tracking this, and you do a really good job and you give them this, they're going to give you something. It's called greenbacks. They're going to pay you better if you keep delivering this. And that's what I'm trying to help you accomplish. Okay? It's possible. I'm telling you it's possible. I've been doing it for 30 years. Happens all the time. Once you turn in a project like this, they're going to ask you to turn in another project for them like this. Can you do that again? Please. And then, pretty soon, you're going to be able to hand them over data and say, you know, here's what happened on my project. When they come to you and say, hey, Mike, man, you did a really good job on that last project, but man, we just didn't quite make it. And then you're going to pull out your paperwork and you're going to say, oh, really? Because my numbers say that I smoked that job. You see right here where I saved you, you know, $57.87 on that one conduit run. And over here where I saved you $147.32 on that other conduit run. And over here where I saved you, you know, $75.88 on that conduit run. Look at all this money I saved you. And then you're going to say, you know what? I'd love to run another project for you. But I got a little problem. Because I showed these numbers to Good Electric down the street over here. And you know what? They want me to run a project for them. And they're offering me a bunch of money to take care of that project for them. So why don't we talk about my wage and my value to this company? Because I'd really like to stay here and do some more projects for you. But man, I can't be turning in all of these good numbers like this when nobody else is doing it. This is how you elevate your wage. First, you prove that you can do it. Then, you ask for the money in response to your performance. And believe me, you'll get it. You'll get it quickly. And, you know, that may mean that you do have to go to work for Good Electric down the street. But, listen, when you fill out an application, these companies like to ask you, well, how much did you make on your last job? Okay? And maybe, you know, they're willing to give you a little bit more. Every time you piggy hop like that and you raise your wage, and they ask you that question, your wage keeps going up and up and up. Okay? You can accelerate your wage pretty quickly if you want to. If your company is not smart enough to hang on to you by compensating you properly. Now, I have some free training. It's right down there in the description. Once you complete that training, you'll be offered an opportunity to take my advanced foreman training class. And I have a really good guarantee. Okay? It's guaranteed to work. And here it is. If you complete both of my courses and do everything I tell you to do, and you are not 100% satisfied with your results, I will drop your drawers down around your ankles, bend you over and kiss your bare ass, record it on video and post it right here on YouTube. That's my guarantee.